Hello, hello. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday morning. Nicole Cooper here, and I am hopping on here for a few minutes with you guys on this morning. So great morning to you. What I want to do, and if you don't know who I am, my name is Nicole Cooper, and I am an online business development coach. I help people build out their online processes to get their message out there, turn their expertise into income, and attract their ideal tribe. And you can learn more about an upcoming masterclass where we show you how to turn your expertise into an empire at paidlikeanexpert.com. Okay. Paidlikeanexpert.com. So today I want to talk to you guys about how to attract high ticket clients. And so I'm talking to those of you that are service providers, and you might be a coach, you might be a consultant, or you might be in my space where really I'm really talking to people who have real tangible skills that you can support clients on, whether it's in the digital marketing space, whether it is content creation, whether even if you're in the like I have people who I'm working with that are videographers and photographers, learning how to scale their businesses up to attract high ticket clients. Okay. So I want to hop on here really quick and talk to you guys about the secrets. I don't want to say secrets. I think sometimes we say secrets and people are like, ooh, it's some magic. But it's not just magic. It is actually practical. Okay. But I want to talk to you guys about 3 things that you can do to start attracting high ticket clients, and actually how to attract and generate 6 figures with ease. Okay. So for those of you who you're ready to scale your life up, you need a business breakthrough, essentially, right? You are like, listen, I've been in the same place for a long time, but I have these amazing skills. People are constantly calling on me, asking me for guidance in this area. I provide services for clients in this area, but I'm not making the income that I want to make. I'm not, doing the things that I don't feel like my business is leveling up. And you're trying to figure out how to level up, then you want to make sure that you are on our masterclass that I'm doing tomorrow morning, Saturday morning at where you can register at paidlikeanexpert.com. And I'm going to show you how to go from being overlooked, undervalued, and underpaid to beginning to get paid like an expert. All right. So make sure you guys go ahead and register at paidlikeanexpert.com. But this morning, I want to talk to you about how to attract high ticket clients. What are some of the key things that people are looking for right now, and how to get into that premium paying space with your business? All right. So here's the thing that is happening right now that a lot of people aren't aware of. But what's happening in the world that we're in is the world is shifting again post-pandemic, right? People are being thrown into scenarios that they're not comfortable in or confident in. People are constantly having to level their lives up. We went through this whole year of people having to learn how to do Zoom, people having to learn how to virtual school their kids, people having to learn how to navigate everything working from home while also managing and controlling their space. And people have been thrown way out of their comfort zones over the last year. And what's happening is people are overwhelmed. All right. They're overwhelmed in all spaces and capacities. And they're at a point where people are learning to raise their hand and say, I need help. I need help. I need somebody to help me with how to homeschool my kids. I need somebody to help me with how to be able to manage all these things, balancing everything at home as a mom and a wife, while now working from home full time and having to be accessible to my job while virtual schooling my kids, right? People are saying, I need help from just a lot of areas. People are wanting more therapy. People are wanting more support in more areas. And what we're seeing, like a lot of people don't realize this, but the service-based industry is still high in demand, meaning you have a specialty, you have a skill, you have an area of expertise that somebody does not have, and they want to come to you for quick, fast solutions in that area because they don't want to study it. They don't want to read about it. They don't want to take a boot camp on it. They don't want to do a master class. They don't want to have nothing to do with it, but they need it, right? It's like they don't want to have to go through the long, normal process of learning curves to get to that result, but they want to pay for results. So that means that the service-based industry is still huge. A lot of people don't want to work anymore. They want money to come easy and effortlessly, and I'm with that. But it comes with a level of skill and a level of value. So if you're somebody who is highly skilled, area of expertise, have knowledge base in an area that people constantly are in need of, then you need to learn how to package, position, and price yourself and make yourself available to clients. And you can do it in a high ticket space. So what do we mean by high ticket? My version of high ticket is a lot different than the normal version, but high ticket is like $2,000 and above. Clients that will pay you $2,000 to do a thing, starting at $2,000. It might be $2,000 a month. It might be $2,000 for a project or $2,000 for whatever. But usually when we talk about high ticket in this internet marketing space, we usually talk about $2,000 and above. For some people, maybe $1,500. For some people, maybe $1,000. Right? You determine what that value amount is for you in the space that you're in. But I want to talk to you about how do you attract people that are willing to pay you a whole lot more for what it is that you know. So I have 3 things that I wrote down here, and I'm going to really dig into this tomorrow on Paid Like an Expert, because my goal is to show people how to package what they know and turn it into cash flow, how to position yourself in front of people. And let me tell y'all something. It has nothing to do with sales funnels and hard, complicated tech processes. Those things come later. What I want to talk to y'all about today is what do you know and what do you have in your hands? Because a lot of us are looking for opportunities. We're getting connected to stuff, hoping that it will be our get rich quick process. And then we're downplaying what we have in our hands. And so I want to show you how to take what you have in your hands and level it up. So let's talk about the first step to attracting high ticket clients. Okay. The first step to attracting high ticket clients is to go from being a generalist to a specialist. All right. A generalist to a specialist. So let me tell you guys kind of a little bit about my story and how this happened. When I first got started online, I was learning all the things. I was learning about content marketing. I was learning about SEO. I was learning about blogging. I was learning about video marketing. I was learning about just all the things, right? Social media, graphic design. And so when somebody came to me and said, hey, can you do X, Y, and Z? I was like, yep. If they needed me to be the photographer, I knew how to be the photographer. If they needed me to write a book, I could write a book. If they needed me to be whatever, I was saying yes to anything that was going to make me money. The issue with that was I was probably making, I don't know, 15, 20 bucks an hour, right? I was in the category of generalist. So it was not really a specific thing that I said I did. I was like, whatever you need, I can do it. So I got paid like a generalist. I was in side hustle mode, right? Which side hustle for me at the time was my full-time income. But I was whatever little knick-knack thing somebody needed, I made myself available to support them in those areas. And it paid my bills, right? So it got me started. And that's where everybody's gonna start. When you're first getting started in business, you're gonna be a generalist. But then I started learning specific things that were highly valuable skills, right? Highly valuable skills. So I started learning how to become a specialist in a thing. So one of the things that I learned how to master was content, right? I realized I was really good at storytelling, and I was really good at communication, and I was really good with words, and I was able to convey a message through content that was able to connect with an audience that made the audience take action. I didn't know this was a label when I first got started. I didn't know it was sales copy or sales conversion copy. I didn't know it was like a really big deal. But as I got into the industry and started trying all these different things, I started realizing like, yo, this is a very highly valuable skill over here, right? And it was a highly valuable skill that people didn't want to be bothered with, right? So you'll find that people are like, I need to build a website, but I don't want to write the content for it. Or I'd love to write a blog, but I don't like to write. I mean, I would love to have a blog, but I don't like to write. Or I want to write a book, but I'm not a good writer. They know they have a story. They know they have really good content in them, but the construction of putting it together and being able to put it out there, they didn't have necessarily the know-how to do it the formal way that was going to make them feel like, oh, this is like a real book, right? So I started really getting into the area of content and it was just a natural shift, right? It was something that I loved. I wrote a man's book in 8 weeks. He gave me one word: you must believe. And I was like, what you wanted to be on? He was like, you must believe. I was like, okay. And so I interviewed him and I turned it into a whole, I don't know, 14, 15, 16 chapter book, because I didn't realize I was good with storytelling. I didn't realize I was good with words, but he was like, yo, you really wrote like a real book in like less than 2 months with one line, right? So it started making me realize, like, this is a gift that people need. It's a highly need area that people would gladly pay me for because they don't want to be bothered with it. And so I started specializing in content. And then I did all kinds of versions of content. I wrote books for people. I wrote blog posts. I wrote articles. I helped build content for websites. And then as of late, my agency started focusing more on course creation content and signature program content, right? Helping people to really create and craft their own courses. And so I've gotten to that place where that specialist was there. But then here's point number 2. So the first thing, if you want to attract high ticket clients, is to become a specialist instead of a generalist. Okay? Become a specialist. So whatever you do, ask yourself, how can you become more of a specialist in that? And think about a doctor. People use this example all the time. You're going to have a general practitioner that you can go to, right? You go to them for everything, and then they refer you out to a specialist, a neurosurgeon, or a podiatrist if you have to deal with your podiatry, or an OBGYN to deal with, women, gynecology and stuff like that. Or you have these different specialists, right? So what is it that you are in industry-wise, but how can you go from a generalist to a specialist and have a specialty in an area that is a high need in your niche, okay? So that's the first thing. The second thing is you want to learn how to think ahead for people who have that need, okay? You want to think ahead. What are some of the struggles that people deal with in that area? What are the frustrations that they have? How is it that, what are some of the requests that they have, right? I always say, there's somebody praying for you right now. What are they praying for? God, I just wish somebody would come and help me map out my book. I got this book. I know I need to write this book. I just wish somebody can come and show me how to organize it. I wish somebody can show me how to get my message out in a way that actually hooks people and tells stories. You got to start thinking ahead and start trying to get into the mind of your client, because point number 2, if you want to attract high ticket clients, you have to do something that I call the RTB strategy, right? The RTB strategy, y'all, is learn how to remove the burden from people. Remove the burden. What does that mean? That means that if you are good at a thing and somebody hires you for that thing, that when they put it in your lap, it's not going to be put back in their lap. It's not going to be you putting it back to them to say, do all of these things in order for me to do this thing. Now, here's the thing, because I've had issues with this area, right? You might be really good, like for me, I'm really good at content, but I'm not good at graphics. So if somebody comes to me and says, hey, can you help me with my social media? Yeah, I can help you with your captions and the content, but I'm not going to be the designer. I'm not a designer. So you got to know your area of specialty. But once you come to me for content, for what is a conceptual way that I'm going to use my social media to actually talk to my ideal client to convert sales. People want to come to me for content converting captions and stuff like that for their social media. I can map all that out so that once I do the content, I know the content's going to hook their audience. They just have to get the graphic person who has the visual illustration of the words to match that, right? So they may need a specialist in design, but I'm the specialist in sales converting content, right? So you have to know your specialty. Once you know your specialty, you got to remove the burden in that area. One of the things that I just did a manifesto to my team, the people who work for me. And I realized whenever we had phone calls as a team, it was always everybody waiting on me for stuff. And it was like, okay, let's talk about this. My whole goal for hiring people is that I don't want to think about a certain area. Are there going to be things you need from me? Yeah, but I need you to take initiative. As the advisor, as the leader in this area, I need you to think ahead for me. Don't wait for me to ask you to do something. I need you to put the layout of all that you need for this job to be fulfilled, for the timeline in which it needs to be done. And then you come to me and tell me what you need me to do, right? But don't wait for me to orchestrate your role in our company. So that's how I treat my contractors and the people that I work with, my team, is that if I hire you, I need you to think ahead for me. I don't want you coming to me asking me, well, what do you think I should do for this? And what do you think? No, 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 no. I hire people because I believe that they're experienced, they have expertise. And if you don't know, I need you to be resourceful and figure it out, because I want you to own your department. So I tell people, if you want to really be successful and attract high ticket clients, you got to learn how to remove the burden off of people's laps. Many people who run businesses don't do that. They are taskmasters, meaning I'm waiting to be told. If you don't ask, if you don't tell me what to do, I'm not going to ask you, or I'm not going to take initiative. People who don't take initiative, have to be told, and don't know how to think ahead are employees who work a job and get paid, their commodities. It's like you're a dime a dozen. If I ask you to come to McDonald's and flip a burger, anybody can come and flip a burger. But if I ask you to operate as a managerial role where you have emotional intelligence, you can work with staff, you're able to coach, navigate, lead, or whatever, you're going to make more money as the manager, because it requires more thinking and more ability to operate from a leadership role as opposed to just a doer. So people complain all the time about, and there was this great debate the other day, I'm not going to get into it, about poverty and people struggling, right? And here's why most people struggle, is because they don't grow. So if you don't challenge yourself to grow in who you are as a human being, and you stay leveled out where you are the same person this year that you were 3, 4, 5 years ago, then you're going to be getting paid the same, which means that the world will go up in expense, life will be inflating, and you're not growing, you're not progressing, you're not advancing, your income's not changing, your lifestyle's not shifting, your world is not elevating. And it's because you have not grown. So in order to be viewed as somebody that's valued and not a commodity, not a dime a dozen, you have to know how to remove the burden off of people's laps when they give you a role, and that will make them want to pay you more, okay? That will make you want to pay you more. The third thing is you got to learn that in the area of expertise that you have, you want to think partnership with people, okay? Think partnership. The issue that I see happening right now, especially online with folks, is that they want to come in, get some money and run. And they want to do as little bit of work as possible, that they can just make the money, but they don't want to put no effort into it. It's not going to get you far, right? You're going to end up with a bunch of clients who can see that. They're going to talk bad about you because their experience was horrible. They're not going to want to hire you. You're going to get fired frequently. Your turnover is going to be very high where you're going to constantly be hustling for clients and constantly be hustling for business. And you're going to be asking yourself, why am I failing? Because you're lazy, because you're not taking initiative, because you're thinking only of self, and you're not thinking about how to really add value to somebody's life and to somebody's business, how to help them advance in where they are. When I work with my clients, I'm exhausted. And the reason why is because I literally think for my clients. I'm like, okay, which is why I don't take a lot. I take a handful of people, but I am invested in their business, and they pay me the big bucks for that. I'm literally sitting down, getting their vision, and then I'm mapping their visions out. I'm turning their visions into magical words and storylines that are going to draw people in emotionally, connect with their audience. I'm thinking about elevating their business models. I'm constantly giving feedback on like, okay, have you ever thought about tweaking it like this? Because the way we're approaching it like this is not going to work. You're not going to be able to get the sales that you want. You're not going to attract the audience that you want. But if we can shift it this way, then I become a strategic partner with my clients. When you become a partner with people in life, instead of I am just here for the sale, gimme, 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 but instead I'm going to keep pouring into you, people will never, ever want to let you go. They will forever be coming back to you saying, well, hey, can I just pay you for your time? Because I really need to get this. And when you add value in that place, in that space, in people's life, what happens is they don't mind cutting the check. They do not mind cutting the check. It's so funny now, the conversations I have with people. You know, I'll be interviewing somebody about hiring them for a role or position that I have. And I go through all my needs. I'm like, do you do this? Are you able to do this? How do you work in this capacity? What is it that you're looking for? Are you in position to do this? How do you operate when it comes to this? How do you, I'm like, because I have needs that I know I need met. And if I can find the person that meet the need, once they tell me their price, if I feel like this is a good fit, I'm cutting that check. Let me give you a prime example, okay? So yesterday I was very, very frustrated, okay? And I was frustrated because I'm at a point in my life where I know what my zone of genius is. I know where I'm good and I know where I struggle. And I felt like everything that I struggled with was in front of me and I needed somebody to come and remove the burden. I was like, I have all these burdens on my lap around me, stuff that I got to release myself from, right? Because it was frustrating me. And this is a clue for many of you guys. If you're constantly in a state of frustration, it's because you're out of alignment, right? There's things that you need to release yourself from. You got to learn how to delegate. You got to learn how to release, right? So for example, yesterday I had all these burdens on my lap and I was just like, this is not going to work for me. Like when I want to get something done, I need to do the thing that I'm good at doing, and all that other stuff got to go. Like I'm not entertaining it. I'm not putting energy into it. So I'm learning to train myself now of instant delegation. If I run into something that I know is blockage, that I'm not good at, that's sucking away at my time, sucking away at my energy, pulling me away from what I know makes me money, keeps me in my zone of genius, that adds energy into my life, I'm immediately thinking, who can I hire to get this done? Where can I go to release this? How can I put this in an automated process? What systems can I put in place? What tools do I need? Who do I have to hire to help me know what tools to put in place to get this off my lap, right? So I have to learn, I'm learning to become a master delegator instead of a master doer, okay? Many of us want to be doers. We always want to fix it, learn more, and that's why we always are in the spinning wheel of not making any progress because we constantly do. I'm learning to become a master delegator. So I felt blockage in me. I felt like there was some limiting beliefs that I was dealing with. I felt like I was not growing the way that I needed to grow. I felt like I needed a breakthrough, but I needed a mental elevated breakthrough. I needed a massive shift in my life. So there was an event here last night in Austin. It's called Internet Marketing Party. And yesterday was the first night of it opening up post-pandemic, right? So they haven't been shut down for a year. So I saw a couple of friends talking about it. I was like, I'm going. And I didn't know what I needed when I got there, but I was like, I need to go. I just need to be in that space. And so I'm going to head up there, okay? So I get to the event and I saw a couple of familiar faces, but I just moved back to Austin. I haven't been here in like 5 years. So a lot of the old faces that used to be there that I knew were not there last night. A bunch of new faces. But the guy said on the microphone, he said, if you are here just to network with people you know, you're missing out because we have the greatest marketers in the world in this room, right? So I was like, Nikki, go meet some new people. Right? I knew I needed like a new circle. I need a new refreshing connection, some new refreshing connection. So I was hungry. I was like, I need to meet some new people. So I'm going around smiling. Hey, how you doing? Yeah. Right. So I run into my friend David, who runs the event. I'm like, David, what's up? So we're talking and he was like, what are you up to? You back in Austin now? Like, what's going on? So when I'm talking to David, I said, David, I'm trying to get it together. I did this gesture. I was like, I'm trying to get it together. And so he was like, what is this? I said, I just feel like, and this obviously is my frustration, right? You could tell from body language, there's some frustration here. So he was like, so what is this? I said, I just feel like I need to be in a new headspace. There's just some things that I feel like I got to get through. I'm ready to elevate. He just grabs my hand. He was like, come here. So he takes me and he walks me over to a young lady and he whispers in her ear. He was like, listen, I need you to meet Nicole. Nicole is phenomenal internet marketer, blah, 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 blah. She's a part of the family of Internet Marketing Party. She moved away to Austin. She just came back. He said, but I was talking to Nicole and Nicole was saying, I need to get it together. And she did this. And so the lady looks at me and she was like, huh. She said to him, does she know what we're doing? He said, no, but I need you to tell her. So the lady comes to my face, comes talk to me and looks me dead in my eye. And she said, listen. She gives me a story of some stuff that she went through when she was struggling and how she had some trauma and the trauma was holding her back from making some pivotal decisions and progress in her life and in her business. And she was like, I got introduced to this core, this like community, and this community kind of showed me how to elevate my life through emotional intelligence and blah, 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 blah. And so I was like, okay, I'm listening. So she gives me these stories and she's telling me what's going on. I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm right there right now. And so when she was done, I was like, where do I go? How do I sign up? I didn't even know how much it cost. I didn't even care. I was like, what you're saying right now, I need, because the event is live, which I need. I want personable events, right? And she was like, it's next week here in Austin and it kicks off on Friday. And I was like, I'm free next weekend. Give me the link. I went and it was a big investment, right? Signed up this morning, first thing this morning. I share that with you guys to say I had a need. Somebody was able to show me that that frustration you're having, that when you're sitting down and you got all these burdens on your lap and you're hoping and wishing for the shift, the hope and the wish is not in a $10 ebook for me. The hope and the wish is not going to be in me, watching a free YouTube video. I needed like a real specialist to come and show me how to elevate. And she gave me that solution last night, and I signed up this morning, and it was multiple 4-figure investment, right? And that's just the reality of when somebody has a need, when somebody has a desire, when somebody has a change, they want change, they need a breakthrough. If you are positioning yourself as that solution, as that problem solver, as the Olivia Pope, as I call it, the fixer of that issue, that breakage that they have that's holding them back, that blockage, they're going to cut the check. Now, it's the right audience. It's the right messaging. It's the right positioning. And that's what I'll be talking about with you guys tomorrow on Paid Like an Expert. So if you have not yet went on ahead and registered, I want you guys to make sure that you register for paidlikeanexpert.com. And I'm gonna tell y'all, this is for people who have a service, expertise, knowledge, something that you already have as an established business, or even could be a potential business that people come to you for, you've utilized this, and you produce results, and it can actually help people get elevated. I usually work with service providers and folks who actually are going to get something accomplished for people. I don't do the woo-woo folks. What I mean by woo-woo is like, I don't really know what I'm selling you, but I'm trying to sell you something because I need money, people. Now, do you have a skill? Do you have a service? Are you a coach looking to elevate, where you help people with a certain type of breakthrough? There's a certain process that you're able to get people through to get an outcome, and you're ready to learn how to turn it into a legit business that is producing real money, that is going to help you elevate your life into a place in a space where you can feel growth, right? You can experience growth. Growth, not just for your personal life, but growth in how you do business, how you serve your audience, and how you produce outcomes that are going to be transformational for the people that you connect with. We'll talk about that on tomorrow on our Paid Like an Expert on the masterclass. So for those who have joined late, let me just do a brief recap, okay, for what it is that I'm talking about. I talked about how to attract high-ticket clients and earn 6 figures with ease. The first one is become a specialist, not a generalist. The second is the RTB strategy. Learn to remove the burden off of people's laps. What does that mean? Think ahead for your clients. Make their lives easy. When they pay you, make their lives easy. And number 3, think partnership. Don't think, I just want to get a sale for me. I just want to make money for me. It's for me, for me, for me, for me, for me. If you're living your life in your business, always thinking about what you want and what you want to earn and what you want to get and what you, and you're not thinking partnership, then you'll always be scrounging around for clients. You'll have high turnover. You won't have real connections, and you won't build a real tribe of people who are fanatical about who you are and what you do, right? And so these are 3 key things: become a specialist, remove the burden, and think partnership, that will help you attract high ticket clients. So if you're watching this, you're a specialist. You have an area of expertise, knowledge, or skill. You're a service provider. There are things that you do for people and you feel like, I should be making more. I should be positioned to do something better, to do more. I just feel like my life should be better and more progressed. Or if you're like a coach or someone who has acted as a consultant, but you don't feel like you're getting paid what you're worth, and you want to learn how to do that. You want to be on the masterclass for tomorrow. So make sure you guys go on over and register at paidlikeanexpert.com. If you know somebody that can benefit from this, please go ahead and tag them, share this video and put it out there. And I will see you guys on tomorrow morning on paidlikeanexpert.com. All right. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Have a great and awesome weekend. And P.S. My birthday is Sunday, right? I did not plan much. My friends are planning something, but it should be my turn up weekend. But I think I'm going to start turning up after I get past tomorrow. All right. So this has been like on my list for several months to get this masterclass going. So I'm super excited about being able to do that. But make sure you tag somebody. Do that for me. If you see people who can benefit from this content, tag, share, like, comment. Let me hear back from you and make sure you register for tomorrow. If it's a good fit. If it's not a good fit, don't waste your time. All right. Okay, guys, have a good weekend, and I will see you guys on tomorrow. Bye, everybody.